Hey everybody, Kelly Engineering here, and welcome to episode 7 of Journey Across the Void. In between episodes, I spent most of my time in the Nether. I also tore down my passive mob spawning platform in preparation for building the Triskelion, or at least the tower portion of the Triskelion. We're not going to get into that just yet, but I am planning it out, and lord is it difficult. But in the Nether, I've killed quite a few of the mobs, only completed 3 of the mob killing quests though. I got more than enough magma blocks in case I need magma creams, because the magma blocks are going to give me the magma creams if I throw them through a pulverizer. And also the zombie pigmen will give me cyber related stuff, or at least the armor portions of it. And I also have a monster spawner with a blaze. One of the main problems I ran into and for getting blaze rods is the fact that I can't have spawners lit up, but if I don't have it lit up enough, the grue will spawn. So I decided to just solve that problem by taking a blaze spawner into the overworld. I also found a robo-surgeon block inside a nether fortress. So I'm looking forward to being able to play with the cyber mod a little bit later. Mainly because I haven't played with it since 1.7. But in this episode, what we're going to do is we are actually going to refine how our sieving setup is. We're actually going to get rid of these manual sievers and set up auto sieves. We're going to briefly get into industrial foregoing so I can get the material stonework factory. And yeah, I'm going to set it all on a brand new platform. Like I mentioned in the last episode, this central platform is going to be the center of the tower on the Triskelion. So this platform is going to be in the way, and I'm going to have to move it. I'm going to have to move it somewhere. But yeah, without any further ado, let's get to it. I just calculated out how much space I'm going to need for the starting circle of the Triskelion, and it is a 163 diameter circle, which means I'm going to have a radius of 81, and 81 is more than enough to actually clear out what I have built right now. I don't think I'm going to have to create a new platform in this episode. It's just going to mean that I have more to transport a little bit later on. What I was planning on doing was I was going to create some scaffolding. The angel block is not in this pack, so the scaffolding is going to be the next best thing because you can place it in midair. So this replaceable scaffolding, it breaks immediately. You place it in midair, and there are 3 different types of scaffolding actually. You have the responsive. Yeah, responsive scaffolding is made with a piece of redstone, and whenever you break one, all of the other scaffolding will fall with it. And then fragile scaffolding, which I'm not even going to bother with, decays over time. But yeah, since I don't have to do that in this episode, I'm not going to, and I'm going to get immediately into industrial foregoing. I've already made the manual for it, and the manual is just any log and any piece of paper. And one thing I noticed looking in the quests is the industrial foregoing machine frame is gone. It wants you to use the thermal machine frame for everything. So that's actually very fortuitous because I don't have to use as much plastic. In any case, I'm going to make some more iron plates so I can make plenty of machine frames. The first thing that I'm going to go for is, of course, the latex processing unit so I can get my rubber, and then I can get the material stonework factory. So we're just about ready to go. I have my tree fluid extractor, and I also have a latex processing unit. So all of those are done, and I have a tree grown over here. This is where, for now, we're going to have the tree fluid extraction going. So it's already working. This does not require power, but we need a place to put all of that latex before it goes into the processing unit. So I have a quantum tank right here and fluid duct. So I'm going to need to get a servo so it'll actually take it out and also program this. Alright, it should have no problem going out. So let's go get a servo for this. And there we go. Now that I have a servo on there, let's ignore the control, and the latex is flowing in. Awesome. So, just got to get this to the latex processing unit, which does require power. So I'm going to have to set up some flux networks, and I already have the stuff ready to make that, and it's all over here. The first thing we're going to do is make some flux cores, and I have, thankfully because of the blaze rods and the sieving I've been doing, making the Eyes of Ender is no problem. But I'm going to make 32 of these for now. We're going to use them to make the flux controller, and we're going to make a flux plug. And I think we're going to make the flux tank as well, or the flux storage rather. So I have the latex processing unit going right now. I attached my Ender IO fluid tank, which means I'm only going to get 16 pieces out of this, but later on I'll have something a little bit more permanent. I've attached my quantum tank to my infinite water setup right here, And wow, already have 451 buckets. So yeah, I do have a solution in the works, but until I can actually get this rubber, I'm kind of stuck. Pardon me, I'm kind of stuck on the things that I can do. There is a industrial foregoing machine that will give me infinite water, and what is that thing called? Here we go, the water condensator. So the water condensator, if I place 2 source blocks beside it, it will just create water for me, and that water can be pumped into other industrial foregoing machines. That may be the route I go. Time will tell. So I've made my first set of plastic, and it was only 7 pieces. That was not nearly enough. I need to make a fleet of stonework factories. But I used 4 of them to make this block placer. I've been manually placing down this oak wood because a mechanical user isn't in this pack. And all of the other placers are from, they're not things that I can make right now. The block placer from Cyclic requires a redstone timer on it. Factory block placer, I don't even know about that one. And these ones require materials I don't have yet. So yeah, I made the industrial foregoing one mainly because it's on theme, and it works. I've supplied power to it and filled it with wood, so now I don't really have to worry about making all of my tiny dry rubber. Soon I'll have more than enough plastic to make my fleet of stonework factories. Oh, and I also made some structure ducts. The structure ducts are just coated with wood right now because I was sick of looking at them, and I wanted to complete the quest that was associated with them. So down here on thermal, there is a quest for the structure ducts. I may as well just complete all these anyway. Oh, another corrupted glitch heart, ender fluid conduit. That's nice. So I'm making the material stonework factories now, and I'm going to settle for making 8 of them right now. The reason being is I want to have 4 for dust, 3 for gravel, and 1 for sand. Only 1 for sand because it's only for prismarine shards through a diamond sieve. And 4 for dust because I get the most stuff out of dust. And then 3 for gravel because throwing gravel through a string sieve doesn't really do anything for me that the others cannot. So yeah, 8 of them is definitely going to do for me for now. And once I have all of them set up, I'm not going to use flux plugs on it again. I'm going to give it its own power setup using a environmental tech solar panel. This one is actually going to be tier 3 though, because these things are going to be running at all times, and they're also simultaneously going to be running my auto sieves. Yeah, I'm going to set all of that up real quick, and I'll come back to you to show you how I've set it up. Here we are. I have made this new platform, and I'm pretty happy with it. It has all 8 of my material stonework factories and auto sieves in here. Each auto sieve is working just fine, and yeah, like I said, all 4 of these are dust, and each one of these has a different sieve in it: diamond, iron, flint, and string. And then I have 1 sand with a diamond, and then gravel with a diamond, iron, and flint. And yeah, it's all working fine. They're all going into an ender chest that is coated blue, light blue, white, and yeah, everything is going in here. All those ender chests go all the way over here where the original ender chest was, and all of the ore still goes into these quantum storage units. I'm not ready to tear this down just yet. I need to actually find a place to put all of this. But anything that isn't an ore gets coated into a blue, light blue, light blue. And yeah, all of that stuff that fills into this ender chest is hooked into the ME system. So my ME system is filled with everything that's extraneous. The next thing I'm going to have to do is go over to all of these small storage crates, and all of the other extraneous stuff I'm going to pop into that small ME system. So for power over here, I'm dealing with some Chironite solar panels, the tier 3 solar panels, and they're working fine. They have more than enough energy inside them, but at nighttime the energy drains pretty quickly, as you might expect with 16 different machines running. So I also put down some lava power down here. So the lava power is actually running on 7 now, and yeah, it's more than making up for the power that I lose whenever it's nighttime. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. Oh yeah, and the power is actually running over this center. So I have these spruce wood covers because I made the structural ducts. I may as well have used them. So yeah, all of the structure ducts are hiding inside these pieces of wood and these logs. And I'm pretty happy with the look of it. So you may notice that this is outside of a circle I have built. This is actually, from what I could eyeball, the size of the top of the Triskelion. So I have a lot of work to do, maybe more than maybe more than I envisioned. But yeah, this is what we're going to be working with for the Triskelion, for all 60 floors of it. Down here I have my blaze spawner, and I built up the walls just because every time I was hitting them with my sword, they were falling, and then the blaze rods were falling as well. I needed more blaze rods to make all of those ender chests that I've used, and even then, I'm not done. Ooh, more fluid cows. Sulfur trioxide, sparkling wine, and more nuclear craft stuff. So I gotta collect those. Yeah, I still need to make more ender chests for these storage crates right here because I still want everything that I craft to go in here, and right now nothing is really automated in that sense. So yeah, we're not quite done yet. I'm going to get some more blaze rods now that it's nighttime again, and we're going to get working on the next part, which is making more furnaces and pulverizers for the stuff that can't go into a pulvis or furnace. Before I do continue with that, though, I do want to go over one thing, and that's it. Well, I guess 3 things. Oh yeah, 3 things. So Robert Paul once again told me something I had no idea about, and that's the fact that you can feed these little guys inside the autosieve, and they'll go faster. But a golden apple is one of the things that you can use to it. Normally, if you just give it a regular apple or some bread or something, it'll go ×2. But giving it a golden apple will go ×4, and they'll move a lot faster. I noticed that it doesn't really last all that long, but it is something I did notice if you want them to speed up a little bit. So yeah, that's definitely something. It doesn't matter whether or not you're using the regular golden apple or the notch apple, it's still going to be ×4. The second thing I want to bring up is Shaggy, my old friend Shaggy, brought up that I should probably carry some overworld cakes to make sure the thing that happened at the end of last episode doesn't happen again. So yeah, I'm carrying overworld cakes on me, as well as all of the tools that I normally have. This extra inventory, I don't think I went over it, but Cyclic does have an inventory cake. Here it is. Yeah, inventory upgrade. So this inventory upgrade will make this extra inventory for you, and that's where I'm going to keep all of my tools. I have some task screens I still need to set up. But yeah, my overworld cakes are going to be stashed here, just in case I destroy a cake in another dimension again. Third thing that I want to mention is the fact that, yeah, this circle right here for the Triskelion Tower, I am going to be building this 1:1. I'm not going to be doing a 1:2 scale or a 1:4 scale. This is going to be 1:1, and that may not be in my best interest, but it's what I want to do. And considering what this pack is doing for me to get infinite supplies, I think it is feasible. But yeah, I am going to be doing a 1:1, starting with the tower, and if the tower works, and the tower does have 60 floors, I may actually build out to the 3 separate buildings and the communications hub that are also part of the MCU's Triskelion. So yeah, this is a 1:1 circle from what I eyeballed on Google Maps and some concept artwork from the films. So before I start on the next part of this episode, I want to do something a little cheesy. There are these quests right here for here, take this. And if I die 10 times, it'll give me a Totem of Undying and 4 golden apples. I don't really need those. But that unlocks a quest for die... oh, need a hand? Here we go. For die 50 times, which gives me this incredibly OP yo-yo. And I want it. I really want it. So yeah, I'm just going to die 50 times. I've already died 9 times. Here we go. Yeah, I've already died 9 times, and frankly, I don't really care. For some people, this may put a sour taste in your mouth, but I play Minecraft not for the combat. I play it to build things, build overly complicated machines or incredibly intricate buildings. So something like this doesn't really fuss me very much. Something like, here we go, something like giving myself the super OP stuff. So like if I kill myself 100 times, it gives me this incredibly OP armor. And I don't even know all of the stuff that this armor does. Like, it goes off the screen. And, like, Respiration 3, Protection 4. Yeah. And quite frankly, I want it. So I'm going to get it. So I'm going to sit here and kill myself. Probably watch a couple videos for cinema wins. I don't know. Kill myself 50 times. Dang you, Totem of Undying. And 50. Alright. That took a little bit longer than I thought it would, but then again, it is 50 deaths, so... Oh wow, I didn't even have to complete the quest, it just gave it to me. It completed the quest all by itself. Huh. Cool. Well, I now have an incredibly OP yo-yo. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, that's not actually... The range isn't that great. But it probably stays out indefinitely. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. Alright. Grab all my stuff back, and yeah, let's continue with what we were doing. So this is what the setup is going to look like. As you can see, I have a combination of pulvises, redstone furnaces, and pulverizers going here. Mainly because not everything that can go inside a thermal pulverizer can go in a pulvis, or vice versa. So, yeah, this is the combination that I feel is going to be the best. I'm also going to be creating some flux anodizers as soon as I have the ability to mass produce pyrotheum dust, because that's going to give me an extra output. And yeah, I think that's going to be best when it comes to the redstone furnaces. I'm going to need 9 of them overall, and actually I have the blaze rods. I don't have the sulfur, but yeah, making the pyrotheum dust, or at least 9 of them, isn't going to be that difficult. Yeah, I think I'm going to get on that. But for now, it's all going to be stationed right here, and I know that there's quite a bit of stuff, so it's going to be in multiple levels. The multiple levels is going to be reminiscent of when I actually have a real storage area for this somewhere in the building. And yeah, I'm just trying to plan everything out on how I'm going to hide the cables when this thing is actually in a room and not sitting on a dang platform in the middle of the air. So yeah, I'm going to get all of this set up. And one more thing, the dimensional shard ore and the rock crystal ore, I can't put these in a pulvis, pulverizer, or redstone furnace at all. The dimensional shard ore has to go into a sag mill, and the rock crystal ore has to be broken by hand or by pickaxe. So yeah, I still need to figure out a way to handle these. And once I get into Ender IO sometime in the future, I will have a place for the dimensional shard ore. So I need ender pearls, so I'm making up some more endstone right now, just so I can crush it up and get the ender pearls I need. How many more? Okay. I went to the Nether, got some more glowstone, maybe because I didn't want to make the netherrack necessary to get the glowstone. So, yeah, I have plenty of glowstone at this point. But anyway, I do want to go to the end, so I have an easier way to get ender pearls rather than making up this endstone. Eventually, I didn't describe it earlier when I made this platform, but eventually what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another level onto this, and it's going to be for making the netherrack, making the endstone, and then harvesting leaves. Basically, everything that can be sieved is going to be sieved over on that platform, and then the room somewhere in the Triskelion. So, yeah, now that I have these ender pearls... Ooh, we have a new fluid cow. Oh, stellar alloy. Here we go. Alright, so stellar alloy is a damn good fluid. So I'm actually going to immediately put it inside one of the cow stalls, actually. I should right click with a cow halter. Oh, okay, whoops. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to have this stellar alloy going. Mainly the reason why stellar alloy is good for me right now, I haven't gone into Ender IO unless they've changed the recipes to make the stellar stuff. Nope, I still need the sentient ender. Okay. Well, it doesn't really matter because stellar alloy blocks can be used on crucibles for 100 times heat. So I'm very happy that I just got stellar alloy. Yeah, where was I before that fortuitous thing happened? But yeah, now that I have these ender pearls, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn them into eyes of ender so that I can make, actually... Alright, I have my last 2 ender chests that I need right now. I'm also going to make some eyes of ender out there and make an end cake. But now that I have these 2, they're going to go right here and right here. Reason being is because, yeah, this is how I'm going to fill up all of the pulverizers, furnaces, and pulvises. Oh man, I did not think about how I'm actually going to get this stuff out. It's easy enough with the pulvises, but the redstone furnace and pulverizer is a little bit more difficult. Anyway, yeah, what I'm thinking is it gets input right here, and that makes sense because I can draw in from the top, but where do I output on this particular portion? Ooh. Yeah, I need to think this through a little bit more. And this is the solution I've come up with. So I have quite a few more ender chests in line here, and there is a reason for that. So I have changed my void ore miners to a different color scheme, which is blue, white, light blue, and those are attached right here and right here. What these are going to do is they're going to pull into each of these pulvises, furnaces, or pulverizers, and yeah, they're just going to go through everything and output to the quantum storage unit on top. I have, once again, filters on everything just so it knows exactly what needs to go in where, and yeah, because obviously I want some stuff to go into a pulverizer. It's all very specific, so the filters were necessary. Unfortunately, I ran into a problem where stuff doesn't come out of the ender chest fast enough. I need to make some speed upgrades for my item conduits. Because things are really slow coming out of the ender chest, and these are all basic machines, so they are very, very slow. That means that this chest was filling up rather quickly because nothing was actually going into the furnaces since I only have 64. Anything going through the pulvises was going through very quickly because I have them fully upgraded. Making the upgrades for these is no problem whatsoever. I have more than enough redstone at this point. So yeah, that wasn't an issue. But as a form of overflow protection, what I have is an ender chest over here keyed to blue, light blue, light blue, which is the same as this overflow chest right here. It'll get input directly into my ME system. Now I also have another blue, white, light blue right here with an export bus attached to it. I'm not ready to use this just yet. It's just future planning, really. Once I have some speed upgrades made for my item conduits, then everything should flow pretty well. But once everything goes back into the ME system, I want to export it immediately from the ME system back into this chest, just so it is a constant cyclical line going through whenever the pulverizers are ready. But yeah, that is really the setup that I have going right now. I'm pretty happy with it, and it does need some work, obviously, with the speed upgrades going in, and I need to upgrade my thermal machines to, at the very least, Signalum level so that they're quick enough, and I can actually throw some augmentations inside it. But with that, I think I'm ready to close out this episode. Yeah, in between episodes, I'm going to continue working on all of this, and I'm going to try to get myself ready to set up Ender IO in the next episode, and I'm also going to go to the end and fight the End Dragon since I have this stupid OP weapon. Speaking of the stupid OP weapon, like I said before, I understand that this may leave a sour taste in someone's mouth, but like I said before, I am in this for the building of complex contraptions and buildings, not really the combat. So, but that being said, if you don't like the fact that if the general consensus is that I shouldn't have killed myself 50 times this episode to get the Slothinator, then absolutely, I will put it into a random chest and forget about it and continue using this sword right here as I continue to upgrade it. Yeah, absolutely. I do understand how this would put a sour taste in someone's mouth. But, yeah, just put it in the comments whether or not you think I should or should not use this item, and that's really all there is to it. Lastly, I have these 8 sieves right now, these 8 auto sieves, and as you can see, there is a little person in there. I can use a name tag, and name tags actually have a recipe. Here we go. So yeah, name tags actually have a recipe, and yeah, put your in-game name in the comments or something. I don't really care, but yeah, putting your in-game name in the comments probably isn't safe, actually. But regardless, I do want to name these after my viewers because I have no idea who Fireball1725 is, and I kind of want these to be personalized. So yeah, if you want to and if you feel it's safe, put your in-game name in the comments, and I will change the auto sieves to that skin. But yeah, I am Kelly Engineering, and I hope that you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.